All right, what up? What up? What up? Peace, peace, peace. Hopefully everybody's well. Yeah, man. I just want to come back with a quick, video for you guys. Yeah, it's crazy. I think that it's an aspect of what makes I think the major theme of the legendary iconic show Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, but especially Breaking Bad. It's all in the same universe. Is that Breaking Bad is pretty much like about people just becoming worse and worse. Honestly, even watching both series now, you even realize like the minor characters and how sometimes certain minor characters they once they became worse and worse. So like say certain ones pop up in Better Call Saul or even in over the series in Breaking Bad, they wax worse and worse. Well, I'm a believer of the Bible, but many don't. But there's a verse in Second Timothy where it says that those in the last days shall wax worse and worse. But that's another story for another day. But I think that Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, but man, that just touches on those themes perfectly, because and also too like it goes to show you how all like these crime dramas, these iconic crime dramas, they kind of teach the same thing, honestly, because like The Wire says like Slim Charles in season 3 says to Cuddy in The Wire, he said, listen man, the game has always been the same, but it's just more fierce. Like it's going to get worse and worse and worse, and that's what The Wire kind of showed as well. But that's what Breaking Bad shows as well, honestly. Like, that things like certain it just goes more into how people would like wax worse and worse, like their lives and things of that nature. Because here we see like when this is Better Call Saul, the first season, he deals with a couple that's similar to Walter White and Skylar White, honestly, but they weren't as bad though. They just didn't do as much damage. But even though he stole a lot of money from the company that he worked at, or organization job, whatever they worked at, and honestly, the I forget her name. I think Betsy. Yeah, her Betsy. Kettleman. She was just like the pure definition of entitlement. She really thought that he shouldn't like since Saul was a lawyer, or I mean Jimmy McGill at this time. Later Saul Goodman. They should just get off clear scot free on. And then a lot of people have that mentality. I mean, I've been working in education and for like 11 years now, and I always tell my students like, listen, there's a consequences to your actions. You can't just do what you want to do. Well, you can, but there'll be consequences to it. But that's and most adults don't even understand that now. But I just wanted to go into this, man, because that's a good theme of this show, that things will just wax worse and worse and worse, honestly, because even with some characters in Better Call Saul, like they were still like terrible or bad, but they just in Breaking Bad they just got worse. Like example for Tuco, like he was still crazy in Better Call Saul, but like now in Breaking Bad he just got worse. Like this is really about waxing worse and worse. People just getting worse and worse, honestly. So that's just is what it is, honestly. Even like The Sopranos kind of does that, because Tony, like, he kind of waxes worse and worse. He started off one he was always kind of terrible, but he just gets worse. So I think all those crime dramas, those TV, they kind of had the same type of thing. It's all the same dynamic or same themes, But we're just gonna watch some of this too, and yeah.
Thought long and hard about it, and given your
and this is kind of similar because he has a similar temperament to Walter White, and and she and Betsy, is very similar to Skylar, because you can tell like who's wearing the pants in this relationship, how he gets ran over, and he's mild mannered just as Walt, but he doesn't become like a drug kingpin, honestly. But that's because goes to show you how things just wax worse and worse. Breaking Bad, like, and that's why hence it's called Breaking Bad, honestly. But everybody now, some people break bad in the show because they reach their breaking point, and that's why Walter White, his journey was kind of not to be absolver, but it's kind of, as you kind of analyze, it's more understandable. But it shouldn't be like but nor should he be pardoned for anything that he did or has done. But it's more understandable how somebody can get there. It's similar to like the movie with Michael Douglas back in the day, almost like 30 plus years ago, with Falling Down. You could kind of, or falling away or falling down, you could kind of see how somebody reaches that breaking point. But that's just what it is.
And your can-do attitude. You just believe that you're the lawyer for us? Yes.
Well, as flattered as I am by this, since we last spoke, I've changed my area of specialization. I concentrate on elder law now.
But you said that.
Yeah, so I just wanted to touch on that. How the Kettlemans, they were very similar to Walter White and Skylar White. But they were just worse, honestly. And things are just waxing worse and worse. Even those people that might not believe in scriptures, Bible, but even in Matthew it talks about how the world is going to wax cold and worse and worse. But and that's what we kind of seen that now. But hey, I think that. But I kind of want to touch on this, man. So hopefully, you guys are good. So peace.